Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway. We are under caution for the 4th time today of this ARCA RE Series event, and you can see why. It's raining here in Daytona. Steve Burns alongside Larry McReynolds and Jeff Hammond. Ralph Shaheen's on pit road. There's the rain on Frank Kimmel's camera lens.
It's getting harder, I believe.
But there's blue sky on the horizon. We see it.
I just think, as we said earlier, this will pass really quickly. But again, one of the biggest things you got to worry about is how wet the racetrack gets, is how long it'll take before we can get back to some at-speed racing.
Well, good point. Let's check in now with Ralph Shaheen. Ralph?
Well, I've just caught up with Dale Jarrett, who's got a lot of things going on here today. His son Jason has been running in the ARCA RE race here today. And, of course, you've got to run in the Bud Shootout a little bit later on here today. Now, Jason's tire equalized on him, and you were telling me a little bit about how tough that is, and it's even worse here at Daytona. How bad?
Yeah, whenever it happens here, it just causes a huge vibration, and a lot of the times you can't even hold on to the steering wheel if it's in the front tires. So he did a good job just staying out there as long as he could, trying to get a caution, but then almost got 2 laps down, and now just got back in the lead lap. So this all worked out. Hate to see rain, but it came at a nice time. I think he's got a good race car, and he did a great job there, so hopefully he can get back up front.
Well, if you and I were sitting out at the beach, we wouldn't worry too much about this. We'd just go get something to eat, say, it'll blow over, and we'll just go back out and get some more sun. But you got to do some racing a little later. What will this rain shower do to the racetrack?
Well, it's going to clean it off a little bit, but they've got some more racing to do, so the rubber will actually get back down. It's not going to affect it that much. This is a worn-out track anyway, so it's not going to affect it too much. It's going to cool things off a little bit and probably make for a little bit more grip. Should make for a little more exciting racing.
How will you do your strategy for the shootout now, knowing what you've seen out of the ARCA race and what you know with the rain?
Well, what I've seen basically in our practice and everything and watching the same thing in the ARCA, it looks like that the passing that we're going to get done with the rules the way they are now is more to the outside. You've really got to have help to pass somebody on the inside. You've got to have a group of cars that are just wanting to put somebody out there and hang them out. And but it looks like if you can get a run, you can hold somebody down inside, and that's going to be the passing we're going to see. So that makes for exciting racing.
You know what it's all about, racing with a famous last name based on what your father did. You've seen what Jason's been doing now, and you've been real upfront with all the media and saying, I'm not helping him. He's doing this all on his own. How proud are you of what he's done, and where is he best and where is he weakest?
Well, I think that he just needs more experience is the biggest thing at high-speed racetracks. He's a great short-track driver. He's got a lot of talent, and he's got a tough situation to live up to, and he is doing this on his own. He put this ARCA deal together. He's made it work. He has a great group of people he's working with, and he works extremely hard, and I'm very proud of him for that. And I think more than anything, the comments that I get from the people that he worked with, the people in the ARCA series, come up and tell me what a fine young man he is, and that means as much as anything to me. And you know, I think that other people pay attention too. Last weekend, as we were at Talladega testing, I could only be there one day because of another commitment, and Jason was able to drive my cars on Saturday. So shows that Robert Yates and Todd Parrott and Jimmy Elledge, these guys pay attention too, that knowing that they had confidence in him, he could go do that.
Well, you know, guys, we talk a lot about looking for the traits passed on from father to son, and one trait, obviously, that Jason has inherited from his dad and from his grandfather is the gentlemanly nature of the Jarrett family.
Boy, that's exactly right, Ralph. As they say, guys, the apple doesn't roll too far from the tree, and what a fine tree it is in the Jarrett family.
It is that, but I tell you, talk about apples. When I was over at his car a couple of days ago, consulting on that race car, Charles Red Farmer. Red Farmer's been racing, and
Since dirt.
Yeah, I mean, he's older than dirt, I think. But I think having somebody like Red Farmer there kind of as a mentor to him, along with a good race team, and all certainly makes a difference as well.
And that brings us to a very good point, I think, Larry. When you talk about somebody like that who's been around the sport for so long, and why? Because he loves to race. Red Farmer loves to race. It doesn't make any difference if it's ARCA, Winston Cup, or a dirt race in Alabama. He loves to race.
He will be racing. Now, you see him, this is on the backstretch. The red flag has been displayed here at lap 44. We are well past halfway. They're going to park him on the backstretch and see if this weather won't move out for us just a little bit.
And Bobby Gerhart is the leader in the 5 car. The 05 of Rick Corelli is second. 64 car of Shelby Howard, our 16-year-old from Indiana, is listed at 3rd. And 3-time series champion Frank Kimmel 4th. Chad Blunt, another youngster, is 5th. We'll come back as the weather clears up here in Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona, the International Speedway that opened in 1959. It is wet. That is wet.
Those are the only guys that are happy right now.
but that's the infield, Lake Lloyd here at Daytona. But it has quit raining and the sun has reemerged. Hey, tomorrow night on Speed Channel, it's the debut of Speed Week on the Speed Channel. Our nightly wrap-up of all the action from Daytona. We'll bring you all the news from the World Center of Racing. Plus tomorrow, a look at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated 1 year after the accident that claimed the life of team owner Dale Earnhardt. We'll talk with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and teammate Kenny Wallace about the upcoming season, plus a recap of Bud Pole qualifying for the Daytona 500 and the Budweiser Shootout, and all the fun you would expect from Darrell Waltrip, Larry McReynolds, and Jeff Hammond. It's Speed Week on the Speed Channel Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed Channel. Now that's a comprehensive show.
Absolutely informative.
But Larry, I expect you to help me with our driver battle.
But I have to work with him every week.
But this week, you and I ought to take care of it. You ought to tag team with me.
You think we can do it in a week?
Well, it'd be fun to try. I think Ralph Shaheen's got something for us down in the garage.
Well, they just turned the radar back on. We're at the NASCAR trailer. Oh, look at that. Here they go looking for another weather shot for us, and they're going to update it for us here real quick. They're selecting their Winston Cup track, latest weather. You can see all that happening. And it's going to give us a great picture of the state of Florida, normally known as the Sunshine State. And right now, that sun is starting to break out just a little bit. It looks like there's just one big cloud burst over us, and that's it. It seems to be very clear. Here it comes. You can see the screen filling up now. There's a lot of water off here in over the ocean. And then right there in the center of that big circle, you can see Daytona Beach. And it seems to be moving from the west, from Orlando and Tampa, east and right out into the ocean, following all these rain clouds that are already out there. So it's very clear back here, and we should be good to go racing here. Everything seems to be nice and sunny over at Disneyland, Disney World, and all that, so we should be racing over here real soon.
Hey, Ralph.
Yeah.
That big body of water you're pointing to?
Yes.
That's the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes, I noticed that.
Okay. Well, I figured since you just got off your honeymoon, you might be a little rusty since you were at the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, but Ralph, he's not used to...
That's the ocean I grew up next to was the Pacific. I knew that one.
He's more used to the Caribbean seas and things like that.
Yeah. Hey, Ralph, congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Kimberly and I are very excited.
All right, great. And we're happy and excited because the sun is out.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's talk about Bobby Gerhart. His strategy, is it going to work?
I believe so. I believe this is played right into Bobby Gerhart's hand. We talked about he needed 3 laps. This should easily get him into the probably 5 or 6 lap window. So fuel should not be an option or a problem for him.
Yeah, he pitted on lap 20. That's 60 laps to go. He told us this morning if he needed to, with a few cautions, he could run 60 laps. They've already ran about 3 or 4 cautions. We know when they get this racetrack dry, they're not going to drive off the backstretch and come around and take the green flag. They're going to run 2 or 3 caution laps. Every one of those caution laps just saves a little more fuel, a little more fuel. Now he's back at the front, where when they do go back racing, it's a little easier to save fuel because you're up there leading the draft.
Well, a couple things I think we need to talk about. When we have a red flag condition, though, as far as a crew chief's standpoint, you get real nervous whether or not you've got a problem with your car. Maybe the brakes get a little bit warped as far as the rotors are concerned, whether the car is going to restart. A lot of times, a red flag condition can bring the little demons out in the race car that you really don't want. As you can see, the way the cars were lined up, they're put in a position where if they don't refire because the battery doesn't work well, they can get a push start from one of the record drivers.
You know everything.
And as a crew chief, if there wasn't something to worry about,
exactly,
we would come up with something to worry about, trust me, especially on the red flag.
Probably like where we're going to eat at tonight, maybe.
Let's take a look at a full field summary so we can show you where everybody is.
There's
Bobby
the sun.
Gerhart. Yeah, we see the sun. Bobby Gerhart is the leader, followed by Corelli. And our 16-year-old, I'm assuming he passed his biology exam.
Oh, I don't think they would let him race if he didn't.
No.
Outstanding job. And there's the veteran Frank Kimmel, though, in 4th place. You can't count him out.
1995 champ Andy Hillenberg. And another young driver, Nate Monteith, doing a great job in that 17 car.
And Justin Labonte, he's still hanging tough.
Casey Mears, the son of Roger Mears. He's going to run the full Busch Series schedule for the Welliver Jessel car.
Tina Gordon there, she keeps hanging out in that top 10, top 15 there in 15th place. And Billy Venturini, outside pole sitter, had some problems early. He's back to 19th.
Well, an 18th. Look, Todd Bowser started 41st and has worked his way up through the field today.
21 through 30, Jerry Hill at the top of that chart. Vern Slag, our 62-year-old veteran.
Now there's Jason Jarrett and Chase Montgomery. Remember, they got their lap back. They're back on the lead lap. They're 33rd and 34th.
Robbie Benton in 35th position, the first car a lap down. Darrell Basham, one of 4 cars officially out of the race. Well, the sun is out here in Daytona Beach, Florida. We'll be back. Hopefully, we'll restart the race here during Speed Weeks 2002 on the Speed Channel.